one of the biggest, the best rapper, female rapper in the game, Nicki Minaj. She finally drops Pink Friday 2. Sold 22K first week, 22 soundtrack album with features such as J. Cole, Lil Wayne, Drake, Lil Uzi Vert, Future, and a whole lot more rappers. It's been 13 years since the last Pink Friday came out, and she just dropped Beam Me Up, Scotty, I believe in 2021, if I'm not mistaken. But she comes back and she drops Pink Friday too. And I will say, for her album to sell 222K first week, it was projected to sell 200K first week, but it ends up selling 222K first week. It's a huge W for the Barbs. It's a huge W for Nicki Minaj, and this album, it's a good album. It is a really, really good album for a female artist. It is a good album. Now, obviously, with female artists, you're going to have some songs that are going to talk about things that the males wouldn't really get interested, to songs like Pink Friday, Girls, songs like Cowgirl, and other songs like Ford from Trini. But like those songs like that are like, I'm not going to be interested in it. Other people that really don't listen to Nicki Minaj aren't going to be interested in those types of songs. But with Nicki Minaj, we know what we're going to get. We know that she's going to drop some bars. She's going to drop some bars in her songs, and she's also going to drop some songs that are strictly for her core fan base for the Barb. So songs like Let Me Down with J. Cole, songs like Needle with Drake, that's songs that really are for everybody. Fuck This Club Up, that's a song for everybody. Everybody featuring Lil Uzi Vert, those are songs for everybody that can actually listen to. So for this album, it was a really, really, really good album. She had some samples on here. She had samples from Billie Eilish, When the Party Is Over. And she was also on Barbie Dangerous, was rapping like Biggie on Notorious Thug. So she was coming with some good, just good, coming with some good music all over. The production was good from top to bottom. It was a pretty good album. I personally would give it a 7 out of 10. I would personally give it a 7 out of 10. My top 5 songs is going to be, the best song in my opinion is Needle featuring Drake. That is the best song on the album. That is a song that is going to grow. I promise you. I know, when you listen to certain songs on an album, you just know that those songs are going to grow. I feel like Needle by Drake is going to be a song that does grow. And I also feel like Let Me Calm Down by her and J. Cole is going to grow because of the simple fact of what they talk about. They talk about relationships and the patience that you need for relationships and everything that you need to do. Yes, it's complicated. Yeah, it's going to be back and forth, a whole lot of arguing, but you need the patience. You need everything that comes with the relationship, understanding each other. You need all of that in order for relationships to work. So J. Cole and Nicki Minaj were basically going back and forth and was basically telling people like, this is what comes with relationships. So the meaning behind it makes that like a top 2 song on the album. Then I feel like My Life, that was hard Nicki, straight hard Nicki, rapping the whole entire time. Just straight bars the whole entire time. Everybody with Lil Uzi Vert, that's going to be, I feel as though, the TikTok song. That's going to be the song that has the most audience behind it. All ages can really just have fun. It's a really just fun song overall. And Falling For You was a real deal good song too. She also had songs like R&B with Lil Wayne and Tate Cobain. That was a pretty good song too. But obviously, like I said earlier in the video about this album, you're going to have songs like Pink Friday, Girls, which came out before the album, which those songs are for females. So us as dudes, we're not really going to like that type of song. You're not going to like that type of song at all. And then she also had Last Time I Saw You that came out before the album, which was speculated to talk about the passing of her father in 2021. Rest in peace to her father, by the way. But that sounded like a good song. It was a really good song. And then she also had Red Ruby, the sleeve that came out before the album. That was a pretty good song. So overall, as an album, it was a really good album for a female. You gotta open your ears. When you listen to Nicki Minaj, you gotta open your ears. And I said this about Nicki Minaj in my earlier podcast. It was like in July when I made this podcast. Nicki Minaj is a better rapper in regards to bars than Cardi B, but at the end of Cardi B's like career, statistically she gonna have better stats. But is she a better rapper than Nicki Minaj? No, I don't think anybody could come close to Nicki Minaj in the game in regards to rapping. Her bars will always be there. Her bars is just gonna be top tier. So with this album, we all knew what we were going to get from Nicki Minaj. It wasn't going to be anything swaying totally different. It wasn't going to be something coming out of left field. It was going to be an album strictly for the Barbs, strictly for her core fan base. And I feel like if you open your ears, you'll actually enjoy some of these songs. You're going to actually enjoy some of these songs. Everybody, like I said, is for everybody. It's literally for everybody. All ages can real deal connect to it. Needle with Drake, that's a song that is literally addicting. The first time that I heard that song, I was stuck on that song. That song had me on repeat. That's one of the best songs on the album. Same with Let Me Calm Down with J. Cole. That's one of the best songs on the album because it has meaning behind it. Most of her songs have meaning behind it. The album came together and it was a really good album for her after not dropping in a couple of years, ever since Beam Me Up Scotty in 2021. So she comes with Pink Friday too, and it's a overall good album. Other songs that I liked too was Beat Beat, Last Time I Saw You, like I said, Red Ruby Sleeve. That was a good song. And yeah, the production was just a very good song first listen. Now, you can actually go back and find some songs. For casual Nicki Minaj listeners, you can go on this album and actually find some songs that you actually like. It's not just a straight female, all she talks about is just straight female things that us males is not going to be interested in. You can actually go down the list and find songs. The first song, Barbie Dangerous, the second song, Fuck This Club Up. Good songs on there. Let Me Calm Down, Everybody, Needle with Drake. Those are actually good songs. My Life, good songs. Last Time I Saw You, good songs that have meaning behind it. So all the casuals can just come and listen to the album and actually enjoy the album. It's not a bad album. You can't just sit here and just be like, okay, just because this is a female, I'm not going to connect to the album just because it's a female artist. Like, nah, there's going to be some songs that you like. You just got to open your ears. With this album, you got to open your ears. Anytime you listen to a female artist, you got to open your ears, especially if you're the other gender. If you're a male, you got to open your ears. Same with females. If they listen to male artists, they got to open their ears. And that's just what it is with Pink Friday. So for Pink Friday to come out 13 years after the first Pink Friday, obviously, is it going to be a classic like Pink Friday based off how it's going? I don't think so. But it's a good album. It's not like one was very, very, very good and this one was trash. This album is far from trash. This album is far from trash. It's far from mid. And $222K for someone her status as a female, she's selling more than these male rappers, as she should. So with this album, it has some replay value. You can go in this album and find songs like Needle, My Life, Falling For You, Let Me Calm Down with J. Cole. All the features, what I will say about this album, did good. It wasn't no feature on here that was just like trash. All the features, I didn't even talk about Blessings featuring Tasha Leonard. I didn't even talk about her. She actually did pretty good. Is that song my cup of tea? No. But I can't just sit here and say that all of these features were trash on here. And you can't come on this album and say that Nicki only did good on songs with features on here. No, she did good by herself too. The features just added more to this album. It brought the album together. That's what all the features did with Drake, Uzi, J. Cole. It brought the album together. It made it sound even more good than what it actually is. So I feel like for all the barbs that listen to this album, they'll have a good time listening to this album. This album is a 7 out of 10 for casual listeners, people that really don't sit down and listen to Nicki Minaj on a day-to-day basis. But if you're a barb, I wouldn't be surprised if you rate this album like a 8, 9, something like that. No misses, maybe. But I feel like for a casual listener, someone that's just coming in and listening to Nicki Minaj, don't listen to him on a day-to-day basis, it's probably going to be somewhere in the 6, 7 range. But if you listen to her more frequently, it's going to be higher. It's going to be higher. Not saying that it's a bad album at all. What we can all agree on, even though it sells 222K, which is phenomenal, it's far from mid. It's far from mid. This album is far from mid and it's far from trash. And that's very impressive for someone that hasn't dropped in a couple of years. And someone who's dropping a sequel to one of her, if not her best album ever. So with Pink Friday being highly anticipated, I feel like it did its job. It did what it needed to do. The features did what it needed to do in order for the album to not just fall apart. You can tell it took time for this album. You can tell that it had a meaning behind it. You can tell that some songs had a meaning behind it. Talking about her dad and relationships. It all has a meaning behind it. And that's what makes this album a good album to close out 2023. Makes it a good album. And even better, she's good at promoting. That's another thing. Nicki Minaj is good at promoting her music. She was just on stream literally yesterday as I'm recording this video with Cenat. Yes, she did come like 4 hours late. I was trying to look at the stream when she first came, but she came 4 hours late, and I'm not going to lie to y'all, I did fall asleep. But she ended up coming to the stream, and she was actually having a good time, and I'm going to show y'all. So you see, she's dancing, she's having a good time, like, and Cenat has so much power. Cenat has so much power. Who would have ever thought that Cenat would have someone like Nicki Minaj on her stream? The fact that he got someone that big, the biggest female artist in the game, that just shows how much power Cenat has. And Cenat can talk and connect with any one of the people that has been on his stream. He's tried to the best of his ability, and he got someone that's almost twice his age. Nicki's 41 years old, and they were able to connect. It just seems like an auntie nephew, literally. They were able to connect, and the whole live was just fun, and he literally brings people on here to promote the music, and it was a smart business decision on both ends. It was a smart business decision for Cenat, for, the fans, and it was a good business decision for Nicki Minaj and her album that just dropped. Everybody was on that stream. Everybody was on that stream. It had like millions of people on there. I think like 3.1 or something. It was something crazy. Something crazy to promote the album. It brought more people to the stream, and it just promoted her album even more. And seeing what Cenat is doing, all you can do is just applaud what he's doing. You got to give him a round of applause, because he does it with everybody that he can. He does it with everybody. And this was a smart business move for Nicki Minaj for her album. And this album was far from trash. And what she did for a 41 years old, keep that in mind when Nicki Minaj dropped this album. It's not like Nicki Minaj is 25, 26 years old. Nah, Nicki Minaj is in her 40s. Nicki Minaj is in her 40s, still dropping heat. Still dropping heat. Now, is it better than The Blueprint or anyone or those type of albums? Like, nah. It has songs. It does have songs. But top to bottom in regards to rapping, nah, it's not going to have anything like The Blueprint. It's going to have some Anaconda type songs on here. Pink Friday Girls. Like, it's songs that dudes aren't going to listen to. But in regards to the barbs and the core fan base, this stream, the Cenat stream was good, and this album was good for them. Good for them. But this stream was really fun. It was kind of a surprise to me personally because I didn't know how those two were gonna connect. I really thought when Nicki Minaj came like 4 hours later, I thought she was gonna be in regards to, oh, she's too big for Cenat stream. She don't really need to be on there, so she could come at any point in time. But when she ended up coming, it was all vibes. It was all cool. It was all cool. I thought she was gonna have some sort of pride with her or something like that, but nah, it wasn't no pride. No pride at all. It was just all fun. Now, see, she was only there for an hour, but she did what she needed to do. She did what she needed to do. An hour is okay. They had fun for that period of time. It wasn't a long period of time like other artists, like an Offset when he was there for 24 hours. But it was there for a good amount of time to have fun, vibe, joke, promote music, and go about her business. So Kai did his thing for this stream for everybody. Nicki Minaj did her thing not only with the stream, but coming and dropping some heat. From the intro, had some misses towards the bottom part of the album a little bit, but that intro to middle part of it, it was good. Where all the features were and some of her singles, it was a very good album, very put together album. Production was good. Give the album a 7 out of 10. Let me know what y'all think on the album.